All right, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. It's Dr. Ephraim. Today's date is November 22nd, 2022. And if you're listening to the sound of my voice, that means you were blessed to see another day. And for that, all praise, honor, and glory is due to the Most High God of Israel. All right, Shalom, everyone. Welcome to all my new subscribers. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell and select all so you'll be notified every time I upload a new presentation. I want to thank everybody for, supporting me, supporting the channel, liking the videos and commenting. It all helps in the viewership. And like I said, we got close to 700 new subscribers in like a month and a half. That's pretty impressive. So we're going to keep it pushing. We're going to keep it moving. Eventually, we're going to break through this algorithm thing. All right. Um, okay, today, man, what I want to present and bring forth is not so much a lesson. I want to kind of establish a dialogue with you all. I'm gonna give you all the basic foundation, right? And then y'all gonna have to kind of do the best y'all can. Because let me tell you something. I know I've done presentations on Enoch and his works and stuff like that, but I can literally see how the books of Enoch worked, would scare the so-called powers that be in the canon, the ones who were responsible for giving us the Bible, as we know it or whatever, especially the Hebrew canon, specifically. Um, the stuff that's in those books, man. Listen, I'm a really intelligent man. I am. I'm not saying that just on some, trying to on some arrogant stuff. Like I'm a pretty intelligent brother. I got degrees and honor societies, all that kind of stuff, man. A lot of that stuff is in the books of Enoch, man. It's I can't fathom. I can't put up. I can't. It's beyond me. I mean, no man came up with that stuff. The stuff that, man, I'm telling you. Listen, man. I don't even want to like overplay it. Like, but I'm trying to paint a picture best I can so y'all can know and understand. Like, the books of Enoch ain't no joke, man. What's in those books, man? It did not come from anyone that looked like me and you. I'm gonna tell you that straight up, because the books of Enoch a lot of secrets about heaven was revealed. All the levels of heaven was revealed. He was taken to each level, each heaven, right? They only mention the third heaven in the Bible, but there's nine, right? So I kind of spoke about that. But what I wanted to really bring forth today is that for the longest time, a major point of I guess not understanding is like who was God talking about when He said let us make man, or let us create man. That's been talked about, and I mean, I don't want to really get into it real deep, but some people say, oh, it was God, the Holy Spirit, and Jesus Christ. Okay, I'll give you maybe the Holy Spirit, but Jesus Christ, that's a reach. That's a whole reach, man. I don't even make logical sense. Like, how Jesus up? Did Jesus need Jesus? For a matter of fact, it wasn't Jesus, Yeshua, because when Enoch got to heaven, he told him to come and sit down on his left hand. The Most High told him to come sit on his left hand with Gabriel, because his right hand was reserved for Yeshua, who has yet to come. So that spot was reserved. I'll say that for him all these years, but Yeshua was not there. Please believe he wasn't. So, and you ask, well, gosh, well, who was it then? What was he talking about? Who was he talking about? When he said, let us. Well, one of the books of Enoch tells us exactly who he was talking about when he said, let us. And I'm gonna tackle that. I'm gonna get into that. Like I said, this ain't no lesson. I'm not teaching y'all, because I listen. This is beyond me, man. I'm gonna tell y'all straight up. Like, I'm gonna read some stuff, give a little commentary with it. You know what I'm saying? But y'all gonna have to do y'all thing with it, because it's deep, man. It's deep. And once I start, once I get into it, and I'm gonna name the I don't know what to call them, the entities of who the Most High was talking to when He said, "Let us." But you're only going to find who He was talking to in the books of Enoch. And for the first time, for many of you, I'm going to reveal who the Most High was talking to and about when He said, "Let us." But before I go on with the lesson, this is why I tell y'all, listen. If you're really serious about doing some real deep knowledge about the Most High, right? You got to have the books of Enoch. You just have to. The stuff that's in those books, man, I promise you, um, it didn't come from nobody that looked like me and you. I mean, to me, they might as well be saying womp 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 womp. I mean, you know what I mean? And really. And you have to understand that a lot of the book of Genesis as we know it was taken from Enoch's work. Genesis is a lot of Enoch's work uncredited. They give the book of Genesis to Moses, who was nowhere near in the beginning, but they credit him with the book of Genesis. The first 5 books, they say, of Moses, they credit to him, right? But in all reality, Genesis took a lot of stuff from Enoch's work. Enoch was there. Enoch met the Most High face to face. Enoch said that the Most High's face was infallible. Not infallible. What's the word he used? Ineffable. Yeah. And I never even heard that word, ineffable. And I looked it up, and ineffable means indescribable. But he kept passing out. He kept fainting like face, when he came to his face, seeing his face or whatever. I mean, I couldn't even imagine, man. And, they kept picking him up because he just couldn't, you know what I'm saying? It was too much for him, and they was like, telling him just, be strong, whatever the case may be. Like, it's all good, it's all good. So anyway, you have to understand that a lot of what's in Genesis is really Enoch's work. And when I tell y'all who the Most High was talking to and about when he said, let us, and again, you can only find that in the book of Enoch. That was revealed to him. Okay, when they say this, when you see little titles saying the secrets of Enoch or whatever, trust and believe, man. The angels told him how the sun worked, how the sun was lit every day. Like they went into like deep, like astrophysicist type stuff. Like, I mean, the inner workings of the heaven, man. Like what are you taught? Like what? Like even the stuff that's sitting in the books of Enoch, even for right now, to me, that's just well beyond my comprehension, man. Like seriously. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into it, man. I'm gonna bring this forth about who the Most High was talking to and about when he said, let us create man in our image. Let's get it. All right, like I said, this isn't really a lesson per se, but I'm going to give y'all some highlights in the foundation, at least to satisfy the knowledge of who the Most High was talking to and about when he said, let us create or make man in our image. Now, when I read this to you all, it's still going to be like, I mean, it's very, well, anyway, let me go ahead and, hold on, give me 1 second. Go ahead and bring this up right quick. Okay. Because remember, Enoch is up there in between the different angels, and they're taking him to the different levels of different heavens. There's 10 heavens, and the Most High sits on the 10th heaven, and on his throne of glory with angels around him singing, holy, 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 24/7, 365. That's what Enoch said he saw. Like so, all right, and it says chapter 25, and the Most High is talking to Enoch. He's basically telling him about creation. And he says, I commanded, and this is the Most High speaking in first person. He says, I commanded in the very lowest parts that visible physical things should come down from invisible, spiritual. And Adoil, the name is called Adoil. That's Adoil. He says, Adoil came down very great. And I beheld him, and lo, he had a belly of great light. Now, I don't know who he is talking about. Who and what is this Adoil? I don't believe this Adoil being to be an angel, but he said, and Adoil came down very great, and I beheld, and this is the Most High talking, and I beheld him, and lo, he had a belly of great light. And I said to him, become undone. So he was commanding Adoil, and let the visible come out of you. And he came undone, and a great light came out. And I was in the midst of the great light, and as there is born light from light, there came forth a great age, and showed all creation which I had thought to create. And I saw that it was good. And I hope y'all following me on this, man, because I'm like, man, I kind of see why they took bits and pieces from Enoch. And it was like, what? I'm pretty sure it was like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, man. And then he goes, let's continue. He said, This is the Most High talking, first person. And I placed for myself a throne and took my seat on it and said to the light, which was Adoil, go thence up higher and fix yourself high above the throne and be a foundation to the highest things. And above the light, there is nothing else. And then I bent up and looked up from my throne. So what is that actually saying? The Most High is saying that he told this Adoil, whatever premortal being or whatever this Adoil is, I don't know. And, God forgive me if I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I have no understanding of this. And I don't know what to make of it. But I mean, at least Enoch has given us names, right? Um, and if you get into the books of Enoch, you can see why, man. Like, I mean, they was like, listen, man, we ain't even finna try to fool with that. We don't know what, we don't know what that, we can't figure that out or whatever the case may be. And it's kind of confusing because what I just said, it says, and I placed for myself a throne and took my seat on it and said to the light, go thence up higher and fix yourself high above the throne and be a foundation to the highest things. So if this Adoil or this light was to go up higher than the Most High, is that technically higher than him? Like, I don't understand what that's saying. I don't get that. So y'all can tell me, what y'all interpretation of that is and what that means. Okay, let's continue. Chapter 26, he says, and I summoned the very lowest a second time and said, let Arcus, okay, now we got another name, Arcus, Archas. Let Arcus come forth hard. And he came forth hard from the invisible. And Arcus came forth hard, heavy, and very red. That sound familiar? We're talking about very red. You're talking about Esau was scary and red. I mean, hairy and red or whatever. And he said, and I said, it's the Most High talking. And I said, be opened, Arcus, and let there be born from you. And he came undone. And age came forth, very great and very dark, bearing the creation of all lower things. And I saw that it was good, and said to him, Arcus, this Arcus being or whatever, go thence down below and make yourself firm and be a foundation for the lower things. And it happened, and he went down and fixed himself and became the foundation for the lower things, and below the darkness there is nothing else. Right? And so now we have the names of these two premortal or whatever beings I don't believe they're angels. I think they, whatever they are, they're higher than angels. I discern. But now we have the names. Now let's get into the very line that okay, he says, all right, now check this out. All right, y'all follow me on this. This is the symbolism of the planetary circles. And this is the Most High talking. And I made a foundation of light around the water, and I created 7 great circles inside it, and I gave them an appearance of crystal, wet and dry, that is to say, glass and ice, and to be the circuit for water and the other elements. And I pointed out to each one of them his route to the 7 stars. Each one of them is his own heaven, so that they might travel accordingly. And I saw how good it was, and I made a division between the light and between the darkness, that as I say to them in the middle of the waters, this way and that way. And I said to the light that it should be day, and to the darkness I commanded that it should be night. And evening came, and again morning came. That is the first day. Now check this out. Hold on, let me see something real quick. Okay. This is the part, so y'all can take this and run with it. We already got 2 names, Adoil and Arcus. Now watch this. This is the Most High. All right. And he said, and the rulers created 7 powers for each of them, and the powers created for themselves 6 angels for each one until they became 365 angels. And these are the bodies belonging with the names. The first, Atoth, he has a sheep's face. The second is Aloahu, he has a donkey's face. The third is Atapias, he has a hyena's face. The fourth is Yaau, he has a serpent's face with the 7 heads. The fifth is Sabak, He has a serpent's face. The sixth is Adnan. He had a monkey's face. The seventh is Sabid. He had a shining fire face, and the seventh of the week. Man, okay. Now check this out. And he said to the authorities which attend him. So now at this point, I don't know if he's talking about Adoil and Arcus or these angels, right? But he said, and he said to the authorities which attend him, quote, "This is the Most High. Come, let us create a man according to the image of God, and according to our likeness, that his image may become a light for us." And they created through their respective powers in correspondence with the characteristics which were given. And each authority supplied a characteristic by means of the form of the image which he had seen in its psychic form. He created a being according to the likeness of the first perfect man. And they said, quote, "Let us call him Adam, that his name may become a power of light for us." And the powers began to create. The first one, goodness, created a bone soul, and the second, providence, created a sinu soul, and the third, divinity, created a flesh soul, and the fourth, lordship, created a marrow soul. I'm sorry. The fifth, kingdom, created a blood soil. The sixth, envy, created a skin soil. The seventh, understanding, created a hair soil, and the multitude of the angels attended him. And they received from the authority the seven substances of the soul in order to create the proportions of the limbs and the proportions of the trunk and the proper working together of each of the parts. And listen, man, I don't know what none of that's saying. I'm not even trying to front with y'all, man. I don't know what none of this is talking about. All I know is that judging by basically from what I've gathered from these passages is that between this Adoil and Arcus and these angels of whatever, when he said let us, he's speaking to one of those two sets of beings, either our Adoil and Arcus or this kind of angel council, the rulers. He said that he calls them the rulers created seven powers for each of them, and the powers created for themselves six angels for each one until they became 365 angels. So I don't know if the 365 angels is that symbolic of each day of the year. I don't know what that 365 is about, or he's referring to those 365 angels when he said, but when he said let us, he definitely wasn't talking about Yeshua, and he definitely wasn't talking about the Holy Spirit. So now I'm giving y'all the foundation for who the Most High was talking to and talking about when he said let us make man. All right, y'all, I hope y'all got that, man, because I don't got nothing else for you. You know what I'm saying? Y'all take that and let me know what you come up with. You know what I'm saying? But at least y'all got a nice start. All right. So hope y'all enjoyed that, man. Hope y'all, I finally answered that question, who the Most High was talking to and talking about when he said, let us. They got that passage from one of the books of Enoch. All right. All right, y'all. Until next time, let's talk to Ephraim signing off. Shalom, elect.